Do you ever feel like your life lacks a sense of purpose or meaning, even if everything on the surface level of your life seems like it's okay? Like you really have nothing to complain about, maybe. Things are going fine, you have family and friends and a roof over your head and food on the table and your needs are met, but you still feel like there's something missing in your life. I have a lot of experience with this sort of feeling, I would say, and what I've realized, or what I believe at least, is that each of us comes into this world with a very specific set of skills, talents, abilities, characteristics, personality traits that are specifically instilled in us because we have a specific purpose to fulfill on this earth. We came here with a mission, each of us, and I bet you when you were a young child, you felt this intuition. You felt that you were destined for something. At least I felt that way, and a lot of people I've talked to have also said that they felt that way when they were younger, that they felt like they were going to do something special in this world, or that they were put here for some sort of purpose maybe. And a lot of people feel that, but society in this world we live in is so good at programming us to ignore that silent intuition. It's so good at just, blocking out our heart's desires and programming our mind with this idea that we're supposed to do things a certain way, the way that society has dictated for us. We're supposed to fit into this little box and follow the crowd, do things how everyone else is doing them. And a lot of people just live that way their whole life and they never actually fulfill their purpose, and they constantly ignore what their soul is calling them to do. But the problem with that is you can't really ignore it or push it away or avoid it, because it's going to follow you your whole life. It's going to be this dark shadow that is just following you forever until you listen to it. And most people live with this constant sense that something is missing in their life, and it's because they're not listening to the call. They're not listening to what that little silent voice of intuition within them is telling them that they need to do. And it's often because it's scary. It's scary to do things that you've never done before. It's the unknown, and your mind tries to keep you safe in the known. The unknown is where all your potential lies. It's where the great, bright future lies. It's where the potential of who you can become lies. It all lies in the unknown. And the unknown, to the mind at least, is scary. But to the soul, to the spirit, to the heart, the unknown is exciting. I remember I had this feeling over a decade ago in my early 20s that I had to, be a leader in this world. I don't know why, but I always felt like I needed to share my message. I needed to put my voice out there, even though it was so unnatural for me to do so. If you don't know, I'm a huge introvert. I'm very, I keep to myself. I spend most of my time alone. I don't really like to put myself out there or be the center of attention in any way. And so it was very unnatural for me to be in this position. For me to be speaking to you right now isn't necessarily natural to me. But I knew I had to do it. There's just something in me that knew I had to do this, even when it was so uncomfortable. And in the beginning, it was especially uncomfortable in the beginning. But I knew I would never be fulfilled. I would never be totally happy if I wasn't doing this. And I don't know why. It's not like a logical thing. It's not like I planned to be in this position here. I didn't plan to be a leader. I didn't plan to be, helping others and sharing my message with the world. It's not something that I necessarily wanted to do, but it's something that I knew I needed to do. And then through doing it, I eventually found the love and the passion for it, because it's my soul's calling, I guess. I'm meant to share my message with the world and help whoever resonates with my message. It's just embedded in me, and there's no logical reason for it. It's just like we're born with it. And I think you feel that too. If you're listening to this, you feel that too. If you're with me still, then I know you've had this feeling, and maybe you've had this feeling for a long, long time. This feeling like you're destined for more. And if you feel that, it means you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that feeling. You wouldn't even question it, unless you were really meant for more. So I encourage you to just start listening to that voice more and stop listening to the mind, because the mind is programmed to keep you safe. So it's going to give you a million excuses and reasons for why you shouldn't do that thing that in your heart you should do. But what you'll find is that when you start doing what your soul is calling you to do, even though it might be scary, you'll notice that feeling of depression or gloominess that you might have, that feeling like your life lacks purpose or that you're missing something in your life, that feeling will start to go away. And you'll start to find a natural sense of joy well up within you. When you are fulfilling your soul's purpose, it brings joy, it brings peace, it brings true happiness, because that's what you're meant to do. You're fulfilling God's purpose for your life, if you want to think of it that way. And it changes everything. And it's not about the outcome or the result. You know, like, we often strive for some future reward, but the reward is in the doing. The reward is in the living of your purpose here and now. Sure, you're going to have plenty of future rewards to look forward to, but the real fulfillment comes from just living your purpose. And that starts here and now. That starts today.